You know, every time I press the record button, it's like jumping off the deep end, you know, because it's just kind of loose, kind of free with like this loose structure, and I never know quite what is going to come out. I never know what I'm going to say. I never know how exactly I'm going to be. I just bring an intention and the thoughts and feelings that have been building up inside of me for a long time, that have been recurring enough for me to be able to say them, because I have to say them in this way, with this presentation, this format. I've always wondered why, you know, why police cars and fire trucks have alarms. I'm very sensitive to noise because I'm a cat. So uh, I've always wondered, is this really necessary to have an emergency sound? So here I am. I'm here. I'm really grateful to be here. And there's some things that I have to share from inside with you. The first thing I want to share is that I have opened up a new website, another website again. It's Nevlin.com. It's my name with the 3, Nevlin. And it's just my space, it's my space. And I started writing again. So I have a couple of blog posts up there. And I started writing. I started really getting really deep into my writing again. And I just wanted to start off the website real simple and real clean, because I had a lot of stuff on there. I had, a photo gallery and all sorts of things, but I'm starting out with a blog as one medium of expression, and I'll be adding other things as I go along. And I would really appreciate it if you would visit the website to witness my writing in its entirety, and witness my work, not from a feeling of obligation, but genuine interest in what I have to say and what I have to share from my heart and spirit, because that's exactly where my writing comes from. Um, and I also, of course, I'm a visual artist, so I have a lot of photos of myself that are self-portraits. Um, I'm going to be doing a lot with my blog and a lot with my writing, so this is really just the beginning. But I noticed a trend, with my writing is that my writing tends to be more memoir work, very, very deeply self reflective, um, inspired by real life experiences, recallings of real life experiences. So basically, all of my writing is memoir, is it's all memoir writing. It's all my life experience and how I reflect on it and what I learned from it, and just being in the process of my growth as a woman, as a human being, as an artist, um, and all the special experiences that inspire me to share along the way. So that's really where my writing is coming from. Um, and uh, yeah, I would appreciate if you read those blogs and share your feelings as well on the website. And uh, you can also subscribe to the blog as well. Please feel free to subscribe on the website to the blog, because there is an email. You can sign up with your email and receive updates whenever I publish a new post, which will be, at least for now, quite sporadic because, like I said, I vibe completely off of spirit. I do not treat my writing or my artwork like factory. Um, at least with writing, writing to me is like that. Writing to me is just like a natural gift that I have. It's not something that I have to practice. It's not something that I ever had to work to refine. It's just something that I came into being able to do very beautifully. And, I'm just like, writing is kind of boring, honestly. That's why I just say that I'm an artist. I mean, my practice is in dance right now, but I'm an artist. I'm a creative. So whatever way the expression wants to come out, whether it's here or through writing or through dance or through film or through whatever it is, that's how I do it. And there's different mediums for different types of expression, and different mediums have different ways that you can say things. Um, so that's just what I wanted to share first, is that yeah, um, I would appreciate some readership on my writing because it means a lot to me, and really heartfelt readership, not just like blase blah. Speaking of which, it's one of the things that I really wanted to talk about in this video. I wanted to talk about this feeling that I've been struggling with, of feeling unseen and unheard, and um, just feeling that. I won't say that I feel invisible because I never feel invisible. I always feel like, I mean, whenever I leave the house, I'm very visible. I'm very easy to distinguish as a physical being. I'm very tall. I stand out is what I'm saying. So you can't forget about me and you can't miss me. And a lot of people stare at me, or they give me compliments on my beauty or my hair, and so I don't feel invisible. I think feeling invisible is more of an internal feeling, just like feeling unseen as well. But more so that I feel unseen and unheard at times. Part of it is because I spend most of my time in such deep solitude that, uh, I'm not really like, my work is not really like widely circulated at this moment. And I'm not like a popular or public figure. Even though I do have an audience, my audience is very small and intimate in comparison to what it could be on the internet or what it will be one day. It's still quite small and intimate. Um, and so there are times when I'll create something or I'll put something out there, and if it it's it's like I feel like I have so much heart and soul. I put so much into what I'm doing that I feel like it deserves to be magnified, and it deserves to have more eyes seeing it, and it deserves to be perhaps more popular. And when it's not that way, or when I put something out there and I'm seeing that the engagement is not what I would like it to be, or I visit my website and I'm seeing that did anybody I know that people liked my photo on Instagram that I put out there with the excerpt, but did people actually read my content and really absorb it and really feel what I'm saying? Did they read the whole piece? Did they Were they excited enough about it to share it with somebody else or with their network? I think about stuff like that and I'm sensitive to it. you know, I'm an artist, it's my shit. I'm sensitive to it. So I've been struggling with that because it's really like a very distinct feeling when I don't feel like I'm being seen or heard, and it's not really such a great feeling at all. Um, it's saddening, and it's a little bit lonely even, um, but it's its own thing for sure. And part of it is just because of the place that I'm in my life, where I'm building my foundation. I'm building my ship. You know, I'm building the ship that I'm going to stand on, to sail with, so that I can create my dreams and I can create this beautiful body of work, this beautiful artistry that can have a larger platform and that can reach more people. And right now, I'm doing a lot of underground work. I'm doing a lot of like kind of almost tedious, toiling work, really focused work, really internal, introverted, solitudinal work. And it's not out there because it's really like that. I feel like the foundation is not about glamour, and it's not about looking pretty, and um, it's about the structure. It's about how strong that structure is and how much it can withstand the wind. And that's what I'm building right now. And so while I'm building that, and while I'm focusing on laying each brick by brick by brick by brick by brick, you know, and making the paint and lathering the paint on the bricks, that process is, I know that I'm supposed to be bigger than that, but this is what is needed. This is what I grew into my maturity. I grew into this place where I knew that I needed to go through this process to have a legacy, to have legacy building, to have legacy, to have legacy work. Um, and so it's been just kind of like a dance of the ego almost, and I feel like it's an insecurity that I've been addressing piece by piece. But one of the things that I realize is, like, this whole process from me just being sort of in my own space, in my own internal space, and being kind of hidden from the world in this mystery, in this lone space, just doing these other things. you know I'll be up in my watchtower, and then sometimes I'll come down from my watchtower every once in a while, and I'll press my nose up against the glass, and look at, just peer out at all the popular kids from the outside in. And I'll watch them and I'll observe them and I'll see how they do things, and I'll watch their process and I'll watch their journey, what they have to say and how they think and how they relate to people and their weaknesses and their strengths. And what I've learned over the years of being on the outside in, observing from afar, from a distance, and kind of not really being a part of that, not being one of the popular kids, not being in the popular crowd, and just having a lot of space to myself to breathe, is that something like popularity, likes, followers, um, on Instagram or any other social media platform or any other platform, um, as an artist or for whatever it is that you do in the world, that it's it has value. It's like a currency, but the value of that is only assigned to, you have to assign how much that value is to you and what you're going to use it for. So it's the numbers and the letters of likes and followers and popularity is almost an empty value system until you decide, until you assign a value to it. And unless you're in a place within yourself where you are able to think in such a way about yourself and your art and what you're capable of, to be able to assign a maximum value to those likes and those followers and all of that stuff, it's going to be empty. It's an empty value system. And even the energy that you attract is going to be based on what's inside. What you're putting out is from what's inside. So the energy of what you attract, the type of people that you attract, it's all based on you. So the real value is in building yourself up. It's not in what's out there. It's not in the external. It's not in having kind of like mainstream popularity. It's not that. Because what does that mean? It means what you say it means. It does what you say it does. It functions how you say it functions. But other than that, there's nothing there, you know? So it is currency, it is valuable, and I do eventually, I do believe that my work does belong to the world. When I give birth to it, it belongs to the world, and it should be shared with the world as widely as possible. But I really believe that I was meant to, that the reason why I was given this path with this unique kind of audience or readership or whatever, this kind of like small intimate space where I can even have the ability to feel unseen, is because that's my process of getting stronger. That's my process of going within. That's my process of building that foundation from inside, so that when it's finally out there, and when I build my ship, and when my ship looks beautiful, or when somebody sees me building it and what I've built is starting to look real, real beautiful, and people are starting to want to buy tickets to set sail with me, then somebody who comes along and wants to offer me something based on what they see in my ship, they can't sell me any kind of feeling of success that I've been missing out on from inside. They can't sell me an experience of success that's false, because I'm going to have something stronger to work with that I know from. Even if I stray, I always come back home. That's what this is for. And I know that. I am that golden seed, finding power in it. When you build your ship and you get those offers from people to that make it seem like, you know, when you get an offer from someone and they're telling you, oh, hey, we can give you this, we can give you that, we can, you know, and they have all these things and they come and they're coming, people will come with their offerings, and that's a good thing. But when you have your foundation from inside, you're going to be able to assess, and you should always assess, is this opportunity, is this offer, is this relationship, is this connection, is this person, is this going to help me build my ship? Or is this going to make me have to abandon my ship to get on someone else's ship and do a little dance for them for a little while for some feeling of fame and popularity? And I go back to my ship and my ship is in ruins. Is that what's going to happen? Or is there an arrangement that we can make where I can share and I can bring some of what's on my ship for a little while, put that on dock for a little while. I can go to their ship, I can share, we can share together, and I come back with golds and riches for my ship. I keep building my ship. That's what it's for. And I've already been in that process because I've been building my ship for many years. I do not talk about it. It's too precious. I don't talk about my projects. When I know something is really big and really meaningful to me, I can't talk about it with anybody unless they're very, very special and that I feel like they can really receive it and nourish my baby. I'm pregnant with so many dreams and so much creativity. I just have to keep my children safe. Silence is so golden. My heart feels lighter now that I actually expressed that. I'm glad I did. So yeah, all good things in good time. But again, finding that power in that solitude, and one day I woke up and I said, allow them to look away from you. Allow them to not see you. Allow them to not notice you. Allow them. Allow them to look the other way at that shiny thing over there. Allow them. You are that golden seed. And it takes a special eye for someone to see you because they really have to be aware and present to see a tiny little golden seed just laying on the ground, growing, being nourished by the sun. Trees never rush to grow, and that's exactly what I am. Aside from a cat, I'm a tree. Trees don't rush. A thought had been crossing my mind recently about my presence on YouTube and why I may retreat back into my little cave and I don't upload so frequently, apart from just being, you know, occupied and consumed with other things. I really do work off of inspiration. I work off of divine inspiration, and I allow things to build up and solidify before I actually say them. You know, um, I understand that my presence is very potent and very special, and I want to honor it that way, and I want the world to honor it that way. And so I can't, I don't want to cheapen my presence by making myself too available in this way. And most of all, I never want people to feel too comfortable with me or who they think that I am. Because chances are, whenever that happens, they're wrong. They're very wrong. You know, whenever, whenever that happens. I remember in my last video, I was talking about wanting to create Soul Family, and I had um, a long time subscriber write to me and say that he thinks it's going to be a long way for me to have a real family because I just think too highly of myself. I think, I seem to think a little bit too highly of myself, and I might need to humble down a little bit. In that moment, I was grateful because I'm glad that somebody noticed and was a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that I do think so highly of myself, because that must show that I'm on the right path. I don't want the wrong people to be too comfortable with me. And this whole thing about humility, I I think that humility is a value that is mistreated in our society. It's mistreated, it's misused. Why should I be humble? Why should I be humble for you or for anybody? I'm not humble, and that's okay. I'm not humble, and I'm still loved. I'm not humble, and I'm still appreciated. I'm not humble, and I'm still moving forward. I think that humility is often used in a way that, you know, people expect expect you to shrink yourself in the name of humility, expect you to shrink and be small and play small. You know, I don't have there's I don't have time to do that. It's, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to be small. I am great. I have greatness inside me. Cats are not humble, you know. So I don't have time to be humble and shrink myself just to make other people feel comfortable with who I am, you know. And I think that there's a way for you to be loving and to consider the thoughts and feelings of other people and still be in your power and still be um, still be a powerful person, you know. Anyway, this person who said that I need to humble myself in order to create family was wrong, because as soon as I spoke to the world, as soon as I said, as soon as I put it out there, as soon as I was vulnerable enough to share my true feelings and to share my insecurities with the world, to share my yearnings, to share my burning desires, and just put everything on display with the risk of people such as him and others to pick at and poke at me, that's when my family arrived. And I had started, people started reaching out. I started reaching out to people. People started coming. People started helping. People started to arrive. And uh, I was able to receive without feeling obligated to give something back or to give out of a cup that wasn't full. I was just able to fill my cup with love because they loved me and because they wanted to give to me. So all of these paradigms that people exist in with like the whole idea, the notion of humility, that you have to be humble to in order to have what you want, that you have to compromise, that you have to be someone you're not, be inauthentic, that the whole notion of giving and receiving has to be like exactly like almost mathematically equal in like a kind of like logical way where you can see it on paper. That's not true. None of that stuff is true. And none of it holds true for me in my world, in my universe. And it doesn't have to be true for anybody else. If they're willing to do the uncomfortable work to break out of it. But I just wanted to mention that is that no, I'm not humble. Yes, I do think very highly of myself. And it's taken me a long road to get here because it was not always that way. And you're damn right, I think highly of myself because I had so much in the world working against me to um, to condition me into thinking less of myself, to thinking that I'm limited, to thinking that I'm not beautiful, to thinking that I'm less than so and so over here who was born with this skin color or this amount of money or this kind of anything, anything. None of that stuff is true. None of it's true. No, I'm not humble. I'm worthy. Drinking my glass of worthiness. I I think that I've spoken enough. I've said enough, and I'm looking forward to sharing this video with all of you. And I'm going to end here, but please feel free again to check out my website. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and and Tumblr as well. Um, I'm going to be I'm working on a lot of beautiful things, and there's more to come. So please stay tuned, and I appreciate your presence if you made it this far. Thank you for supporting me. For those who do wholeheartedly support me, um, I'm very, very grateful for you, and I feel very seen and loved and appreciated and nourished by all of you. And uh, your presence, it's something that I also feed off of as well, and something that is necessary for me to encourage and inspire me to continue doing the work that I do and to continue to inspire me to share my voice and my presence with the world. So thank you so much. I love all of you. Peace.